Hey, what's going on, guys? Hex Competitive back in today, along with my boy, my man,
Tilted Siege. We out here.
So today we're actually going to be talking about a little bit of different kind of organization of content. We're saving a couple things for next week. I will not tell a lie, but that's because next week's going to be, we're going to be slowly getting anime ladder on in the week. I believe Fire Force is actually going to be the beginning of the summer season, July 3rd, at least from the dates I've seen so far.
Force.
Yeah, from the dates I've seen so far, Fire Force is 100% for sure going to be July 3rd, and that it would fall on a Friday. It'd fall on a Friday.
Dope,
so,
dope.
spring's over.
We're done for.
Spring is over. I mean, 12 episodes is for most shows are done now. I mean, we have one more episode of Tower of God.
Couple
God
stragglers.
bless.
We got ourselves a straggler.
And I'm excited because Tower of God was referenced to have a good episode coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for that. But with that said, we have some news. We have some stuff going on in the community, actually, even despite what's going on with coronavirus and everyone. I hope you are staying safe out there. And I'm back with the PFT glasses before anyone says anything in the comments. But with that being said, we're actually going to hop into our otaku hour, which is just a mixture of things we find nerdy. It's not necessarily an anime review precisely. We could be talking to about an anime, but not necessarily talking about the exact show itself, piece by piece, breaking it down.
Yup. So we're just gonna kind of chit chat, talk about things that we like about different shows and whatnot. That's what Otaku Hour is gonna be. It's gonna be a regular segment. So
yes,
we're gonna be doing that regularly. First up on Otaku Hour, how about ReZero? I know that there's a new season coming very soon. Those of you that have watched season one, man, it's one of my favorite shows. It's got so many layers, a lot of interesting mysteries to it, a lot of action. What do you think, buddy?
I put it on Twitter today, and I said this on Twitter. I don't know if you saw. I don't know who saw it, but I put it on Twitter. I was like, I think whenever you think of a special show, I think you think of a show that can go against like either playing it safe or going against the norms, and even maybe if you do something ass backwards.
Yep.
With an easy kind of like reuse the checkpoint thing over and over. You think it'd get repetitive, but so far what it's done, at least to this point, is yes, it's doing the same concept, but it's going down a different path with it. And
I think every time it almost gets repetitive, then they throw a little twist in, and it's like, ooh,
there's always
a
new
element.
Yeah,
there's always a new element. Add a new element. They do ride that line too.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
What makes it so good.
And I think that's what exactly decides whether something can be good or bad in a show is, can you ride the line, and how long can you ride that line? And if you can ride the line, you're gonna have a great product, right? It's an isekai. Isekai is supposed to be done. No one's supposed to be watching isekai right now. Right, it's supposed to be something that just got too repetitive.
Yep,
transfer into another world, and now we have ReZero that brought it back essentially. At least had people interested in it because we see that there is more that can offer that specific isekai genre. So I'm excited for what's going to happen with the ending scene. I mean, the ending scene of ReZero season 1 was Subaru, mentioning Rim, and then all of a sudden his face drops. Why did his face drop though? I'm very interested. I know why, but I'm wondering how many people don't. And if you don't, wait these next 2 weeks.
But you saw that trailer, right? That one trailer.
Exactly. A lot of people think it's the jealous switch, but I do want to say that is not the one and only. But it is some kind of elf. As you can see, she looks like Emilia, and we do know elves are looked down upon. Yeah. They're not they're dangerous. That's what the witch is. It's an elf, witch, and the whole race is looked down upon now.
Bro, I can't wait. I cannot freaking wait. I'm so excited to see what comes of it.
There's just so many characters in the show.
When is season 2 coming out, by the way?
July 11th, but it is coming out in 2 cores. So from what I'm seeing, and I would even love for what I'm seeing to be wrong, what I'm saying to be wrong, but it looks like it's going to be 2 12-episode cores or 13-episode cores. We'll find out. Maybe it's a 12 and a 13. I don't know if they said. I know it's going to be at least 2 cores, obviously, so at least 20-some episodes, or at least it was originally supposed to be. So that's why it's coming out, this summer, skipping fall. We're Attack on Titan. Hey, there's your turn to shine. And then we're coming back.
So when you say cores, you mean probably around 12 episodes for the first, essentially like a first half of a season. And then there'll be like a break.
in this situation.
And then they'll finish. It'll technically be all the same season, but there'll be a major break between the two.
So like,
is that what you mean?
So for people out there who don't actually know for sure what a split core is, just to make sure we get this out there.
Yeah.
So whenever you're talking about two different cores of a show, it could be like SAO starting on season 3. You have a season 3 part 1, season 3 part 2. If you do it like that, which is unique, or you just literally split, it's all one season because they're arcs that play into one another.
Yeah.
But you just divide them up because the studio, for whatever reason, maybe too much of a workload, maybe they really want to make sure the episodes are individually taken care of to the best of ability. Yeah. And coronavirus is going on, so that did play a role in. Hey, we don't know if it spikes back up. This is a lot of people's pride and joy. And for Studio White Fox, this is their anime. This is their show. This is the biggest show they've ever had. I mean, they've had big shows in the past like Steins Gate, but the marketing and how big ReZero is insane. I'll tell you this. When I knew the show was just astronomically big, and I could feel the presence just in the anime community that viewership is getting. But I'll tell you what, whenever the show had merchandise sales that sold enough with Rim's character only merchandise specifically for her character alone sold enough to support a season of anime. Just hers alone.
Just Rim.
And then Subaru did as well. He got up there as well. So the show, they're ready. They're ready to ride to 3-0. I heard there's supposed to be a big announcement. I heard it's supposed to be coming up. I don't know if it did. I don't know if I missed it. I don't miss many things, so.
Bro, you mentioning that about Rem and Subaru? Subaru, however he's pronounced.
Subaru.
It is literally the most interesting evolution of a character for me personally, because I hated that guy. Seriously, at first I thought he was annoying. I was like, "What is your deal, bro?" But I just continue to love him. I just continue to feel pain for him and with him. It's like I'm going through the storyline with him. And it's so well written. It's one of my, and now he's one of my favorite characters. It's crazy.
The whole going through it with him, I think, is also a product of the fact that when you think about going through it with him, you need to think of that you are the only one going through it with him, because everyone else, it's almost as if they have amnesia, because they forget, but you don't. The viewer doesn't.
So in the dark.
So you get absorbed. Because you care, because you know that you're the only one that understands him and no one else will, or no one else can even try to. Good show. It's a great show. It's a fantastic show. But I could go on with 3-0. I said what I wanted to say. I got to talk about it again, and I'm going to be talking about it a lot more in the next 6 months.
Yeah.
So.
All righty. Good stuff. All right, so moving on, we wanted to talk a little bit about a show that's going to be coming up here soon, I believe in the fall, God of High School. They just recently dropped the second trailer. Was that the one that we just watched yesterday, 2 days ago over here? I just recently watched it, and I'm not going to lie, I was multitasking, so I didn't pay attention. So I wanted you to talk more about it and tell me a little bit more about the show, because I've seen trailer number 1, and it looks awesome. It looks like the new big thing.
So God of High School has the trailer, which we watched, which was that was the second one, which I actually do believe I did show you the first one. It probably
I have seen the first one.
Yeah, so then you've seen both then, because I showed you yesterday the other one.
The one that I just watched was the second one, right?
Yeah. For a high school setting, I've seen Gakushin Toshi Hysteric. I've seen Rikuta Kishi no Cavalry, which, don't worry, I know, that's a special harem genre show. That's not your typical one. That's a special show. I get it. Don't come at me in the comment section. That show's very good. But this show and the level of animation I saw in the trailer, it made me think of Naruto. And the hand-to-hand combat, they were showing you frame by frame. They were truly showing you martial arts, which is the theme of the show. Yes. And what is Baki part? You didn't mention that, which we're gonna go in more next week. But is Baki partial martial? Is it supposed to be genuine? Is it genuine martial arts in that show?
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, straight up.
For example, a show like that,
they add more. They add more. It's not only straight up martial arts, but
and there's some crazy stuff, of course. Yeah. But in shows similar to that, and I really wanted to use that as a reference because that's one, and then other sumo wrestling shows that are out there. I think there's one that came out last winter. No, not last winter, last summer. You people that watched it, I know that you 100% remember what I'm talking about.
I cannot remember it too. I just never watched it.
I don't know if it's Bakugan something, or I can't remember. But a lot of shows have martial arts. But in terms of truly seeing what martial arts is, you need that frame-by-frame presentation, which 2% of shows have. And this show is one of them. It's literally showing you their bodily movements on a lot of the scenes. Not every scene, I didn't say that. But on most of the fights, from what I saw just in the trailer alone, there were, like, it looked so, the choreography, the dance per se, the dance of the fight in and of itself was shown fully. It's one thing to see body parts moving in a lot of camera angles and people just flying through the air and it looks really good, or attacks and abilities look good. But they truly captured the art,
They
the
showcased
aesthetic
it.
of fighting. And I love shows that can, special animation can do things, right? It can really transcend the show. It can get people's attention. Same thing with art.
Game
but
changer.
presentation with that's what I'm excited about, and I've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah. I do remember now. As soon as you started talking about the animation, I was like, wait a second, I remember the fight scene with the fist flying through the air. Yes, and every little movement of every body part is noted in the animation. It's very good.
They don't cheat you. They don't cut corners.
And for the record, the sumo show that you were talking about, I believe, is Hinomaru Sumo. Came out in 2019.
I'm pretty sure that's 100%. I'm pretty sure that. Yep, absolutely. And that I'm pretty sure that's a pretty good show from what I heard.
Studio Gonzo.
Which I don't know. Was it good? I don't know. Leave down in the comment section below. I do not know for sure. It wasn't on my watch list because sumo wrestling just isn't my cup of tea per se. I could probably get enjoyment out of it. I tell you that. I can get into just about anything. I can give it a go. I've reviewed
the trailer.
Stranger
I
Things.
watched the trailer for it. I almost watched it, but like you said, sumo's just not really my thing. I couldn't.
I need to get into some more sport anime. That's one thing.
I want
that's
to
one
do the
genre
basketball
Captain
one. I want one of those basketball ones I saw the other day.
I've gotten told to watch them. They're big. They're big, man. They're
wanna
so
watch it.
freaking huge.
I watched a little bit of Mix, that baseball one.
Yep,
was on
I remember that.
Funimation last year.
Was that the one with the CGI?
It was good. I liked the concept of it. Yeah, no, it wasn't CGI. No, it was not that I remember.
Was that?
I only watched like 8 episodes, and then I just kind of stopped because it was getting to be a lot though. They were brothers. It was really cool. They're like, and they had to compete against each other, and it was so hard because they're like half brothers.
Yeah.
One's
So it's like almost
one's
like
the catcher, one's the pitcher, and they each want to be like.
Yeah. So it's almost like a part of them. Like a part of them doesn't even have to be friends. We don't have to be family or friends. Like part of us isn't, so we can really have that competitive.
Yeah,
edge.
but
I can see them trying to play, so.
but they also are like each other's like source
Yes.
of like how to
Yeah.
get better because they need
Yeah.
each other because it's a pitcher catcher relationship and they're brothers.
Yeah.
And then
And they play on the
else-
same team.
Yeah,
they're on the same
They're on
team.
the same
Okay.
team. Yeah, they're
I
on
didn't know
the
if there's
same
some
team.
kind of competitive rivalry or something.
There's a lot more to it. Like there's a rival team and all this, and they're in the same. And there's jerks on the there's jerks that are playing like the ace pitcher is on the same team, but he doesn't try. Like nobody tries on the team.
And there's
And
that
so they're
one
just
kid.
trying to inspire everybody.
The one kid is talking shit on the bench on the other team.
It was good, man. I liked Mix. So yeah, I want to get more into the sport ones too. But that was a little bit of a tangent.
Was there a kid talking shit on the other team on the bench?
Always, always. There
is real life too.
And then there's the classic like the coach's son scenario going on. But the first baseman, I can't remember his name. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, the first baseman on that show is the main dude's best friend, and he is such a G, man. I love he's like the ideal best friend. He's a
First
big fat
What,
first.
what, wait, what did Barstool say
About-
the podcast we listened just before we started?
Every team needs a short, fat kid
That's below 5'8" and
below
300 pounds.
5'8" and 300 pounds, and they get to carry the big bat in wiffle ball,
The red one
the red one, and
and hit home runs.
fat kids hitting dingers. That's America, baby.
That's America. I mean, that's just so true in my childhood, at least. I cannot argue that. Big bats up. But, yeah, got to high school. Looking forward to that, though, just to reiterate that one more time. I'm super stoked. It's another manhwa, and that show deserves everything that it has. And I think that should lead us into actually what I want to talk about, our next manhwa specifically. Because let's just, just keep them together.
Yeah.
Tower of God has broken hearts. It has
Oh my
ripped out
God.
souls. It has made people riot and they're angry. Rachel has betrayed has not even betrayed. You know what I mean? Rachel hasn't betrayed us because
I'm angry, bro.
she never showed us that she was that. If you actually pay attention, there's multiple scenes prior to this, even before she got injured in that one match, that Rachel, like, she bit an apple and ran back to her room with a pissed off face after she saw Bam sitting with that table of people. So I also saw stuff that implied that she was jealous of Bam.
Trust me, bro. There's a lot. Listen, there's a lot of crap you could look back to with Rachel or Michelle Light or whoever the fuck this girl is. You can look back to it and
think about
say,
that too.
"Oh, that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, this makes sense." She's.
You know what doesn't make sense? You know what doesn't make sense?
She drives me
You said
nuts.
it.
I'm
You said it.
so
And
mad.
this is gonna make you mad
Michelle
because you
Light
said it.
might be her real name.
The fact that she was hiding what her name was from Bam just to stay away from him.
My blood is boiling. I'm so mad.
So, in terms of how I saw that scene, once again, I use orchestrated. I know it's usually composed, composition and whatnot for music, but this does tie in because music was in the scene, and I use this kind of loosely. But the scene to where Rachel pushed Bam, that scene was special. Like, I've seen a lot of scenes, and I said it in my review. The show doesn't need grade animation. Give it some B grade animation, not B minus, not B plus. Just give it some B grade animation, and it will tell a story during these fights. It will set these, nice angles and or action sequences, not with great animation, but good animation. Like when Shibashu was thrown up by the bull, that camera angle they used. The moment and second they slowed down the animation of him flying through the air. He's going through it like normal speed, and all of a sudden they slow it down. All those kind of things. They had the vine come out of nowhere and save him. Those things matter, at least to someone like me. It's not always about that special movement. It's not always about that dance in the fight. Sometimes it's a story the fight's telling. And at the end of the day, a fight should tell a story.
Yep.
And that fight was saying that these princesses stick together in the last episode I saw. But while it was telling me that fight, it was telling me what was going on in multiple places, and I was able to keep pace with it. And I think that presentation was good. I think that's special. It's on its way to somewhere. It's on its way. It's on its way. If a show can make me mad and make me care, then I know it's doing something. Mm-hmm. So,
very well said, dude. Very well said. And I
like it.
Before we came on and recorded, we had a little bit of a discussion about this because I am mad. Like, I'm heated.
He got had by the author.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean but that's such good writing, and I'm like kind of okay with it. It's like to me, author, do it to me. I hate it.
Fuck you, I love you.
Fuck you, I love you. But
ReZero. Back to the reference of I did not like that character, but then because I liked him at first. Then I didn't like him, and then I loved him, and then I didn't like him, and now with Rachel, I don't think it's that way. I think this is who I am. I don't like myself, but this is who I am, and I think that's just who she is.
But I think that there's beauty in it because I wanted to take that moment to kind of talk about. Like I told Hex, I'm like, man, honestly, it kind of pisses me off because it hits a little too close to home, like. And what was it that you said to me?
So during that sequence, I was like, "That's good." I was like, just because something hurts, just because you can connect to it, doesn't mean that it's bad. And in a lot of reasons, that's why I actually even said I like Snafu because I appreciate season 1. I only gave it B. I don't know if I ever told you that.
Yeah.
I say how special it is.
You mentioned that 2 is where it gets really good.
Around 5, 6, whenever I learned that the character, that pessimistic attitude he had for me originally, I was like, okay, what's going on here? This is my first big high school anime I watched. But the connection I got the character, learning why, because something happened in junior high, learning that, so he's kind of that way because of this happened, and that event that happened it changed the way he thought, and it just kind of stuck with him. Which is true. You get shaped in high school, but there's tidbits of junior high that really, it can be an experience. It could be how something's viewed, a stigma around something. That's whenever you really pick up that shit. And for someone because there's a line that references that in Snafu as well. How come you know everything but you know nothing at all? And I connected with that character through that. It's like, why do I give great advice but not take it sometimes?
Right.
And there's some people don't take it at all. Some people take a little bit, and that connection. And that's the same thing with Tower God, with ReZero. I connect. He's been betrayed. He had something that was there, look like something, but it's nothing other, than an illusion. And
I'm
Great scene. The music too, real quick. The music brings out your emotion in that scene as well.
Well, yeah, because as she pushes him off, and there's just and that's
no music.
There's no sound, no music, and it's a slow motion thing, and he just realizes as she's you should
pushing him,
not pussying, but pushing
facial expressions.
Yeah, you can just tell he's just like, oh no, he knows like right away as he's like following. And I hate it. And then all of a sudden he's a few feet back, and that's when it's like, it's such a good, and that's the new song.
And when I was going through my thumbnails, and like I say, I find things when I'm reviewing content, and I just like, oh my gosh, as I'm just going over it before I present it to you guys, or even when I'm talking about it in a fucking video, man. Like, excuse my language, but seriously, man. So what happens is I find myself in this place where I'm listening to Tower of God and watching the scene and the music and how that music hits, and then it does a B-roll of the characters looking
know
off.
Something's wrong.
And if they don't know, they just like feel like you're like I should know.
It's like I should be.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know what it is, but something.
Oh shoot, something has shifted.
What is it? Yeah, and this is a moment that I love. Because the first thing I said when we were watching it together, because this one we actually ended up watching together at the same time, I said this is going to shape him. Bam is not going to be the same kid.
Yeah.
Episode 3. Kuhn was said by the evil man that is our director and test, giver. Mm-hmm. He said, "Don't you want to protect those eyes that know no doubt?" Yes, but yet that man was the same man that ended up showing Bam that doubt. It's ironic. The irony. As soon as he figured out he was an irregular. So now Bam knows that doubt. I believe it's Kuhn's responsibility in order to either lead him down a path similar to him, which Kuhn is a good person because Bam's changed him. So will Bam, this is where I get really deep and I really look at anime. So will Bam being Bam and being genuine, which was all Kuhn wanted Maria to be, will that genuineness he received from someone else save Bam from Rachel and the Maria Kuhn relationship? Wouldn't that be ironic if the person he's trying to save is him and they give and take and they don't even realize it? They're just being what Kuhn is always looking for. Genuineness.
It be ironic?
Genuineness.
Isn't it ironic?
I know. So I like that stuff. The back and forth, nothing's being wasted. The writing is all being put right there. So, I mean, these shows that we're, talking about, discussing are all special. And we've been on Tower of God for a second. And I
love it.
And we've also referenced Snafu, and I'm kind of tying in Snafu in with Tower of God and the relationships and learning how you want to find that genuineness and, past events leading you to have eyes that have doubt in them. That's a quote that I'm going to remember. Removing this in, though, because I do want to transition into Snafu now, because Tower of God, I've talked about it in a review. We've talked about it. Unless you have any closing comments for Tower of God, I'm sure you have something maybe.
Yeah,
but before I want to ask you,
if we're gonna transition, I did want to
if you have something, I definitely want to hear it, because there may be people love this show is really doing a lot of things right now.
I just wanted to just briefly comment on. I was kind of getting into it earlier this is why I love anime, man, is because it really does. It's so fun to connect on a personal level, even in the moments where I'm angry that this man's been betrayed by someone he loves. I hate it, but it's like this is why it's so cool, because it's and you've mentioned it time and time again how like it gets you through rough points in your life. It gets you through any point in your life, but it's because you're able to kind of, without even realizing it, deal with your own crap through like dealing with it with these characters. So
and sometimes you see the characters deal with it,
fun.
Like, oh. Yeah. You're like, oh, that was a fictional way to deal with something, but I can apply that. And leading into Snafu, we'll transition, because that's a perfect damn point. That's a perfect damn point to transition to Snafu. Like, season 1 of Snafu is primarily a season that is setting up what is the amazing and the beloved season 2, to where all that pessimism and all that mindset slowly starts to crack. Yeah. And you see that pessimistic dude. And you'll start to see it, especially on your journey. And there's so depth that even me saying this won't even spoil it for you, because you just won't know. You'll be like, whoa, Because I shown you a quote that was the future makes you depressed out of anxiety, and the past makes you want to die out of regret.
Right.
That was not the same quote mindset of a man you heard in episode 1. If you think about that quote that you saw, that is not the same man's mindset.
That's true. Good point.
In season 2, it just gets so damn cool how everything happens because it's not easy. Just because he's noticing things doesn't mean it's easy. You see this man that's so pessimistic go through a lot of things, and you see a lot of realness. You can know someone who desires friendship. Hiki's someone that puts away friendship and doesn't want it. They clash heads, but yet they're yin and yang, but yet they still in that same club together. And Yui is that person that has a balance between the two.
No, I definitely am going to watch it. I mean, I you already know, but I started to watch it. I watched like 3 episodes, and I get the concept of what's going on here, and I enjoy it. It just wasn't quite enough to keep me interested. However, I was watching the dub and not the sub.
The dub is what I did notice as soon as you were watching the dub. You can know like
because you came by and you heard how the dub was.
There's
and
that one.
You pointed it out to me. Yeah,
the blonde-haired guy. That was hilarious. I started
pointed
busting
it
up.
out to me. Yeah.
His voice doesn't even sound awful. It's just that he's missing that one snarky kind of snarkiness to his voice. I can't really do it. I don't want to do it and sound like a fool. But he kind of sounds similar to Subaru, actually. That's almost kind of that snarky tang in it.
Yeah.
Because he's supposed to be kind of, he's kind of supposed to have kind of a rough edge kind of personality in a way, or full of himself kind of snarky kind of attitude per se. But like once again like Subaru, but he's a character that really should be it's just a special. It's a dialogue show. Like part of Snafu and why it's so good isn't even the voice acting. The voice acting just happened to be really good for that. The tones, they match them. It's the script writing, and the script writing is dictated by the studio sometimes. Anyone can copy the book, but whether a dub studio decides to or not, what? Okay, so just a really quick thing. Camera died there, but we are back actually talking about Snafu, where I was at, was actually discussing how the script writing and how the directors that are directing the voice actors, what to say, the tone to say, the tone of what to say and whatnot, because not all these voice actors know what these shows are. Not all of them have seen it. Yes, this is their job, but like some of them do video games. There's so many different things that these people, do. So that's very important to try to incorporate into your mind whenever you think about this. So there's a lot of things that are different than just, hey, there's good voice acting. There's things that go into it. Sometimes someone can write the voice actor. You never know. So some people can do more with less. Some people can do not more with less.
Yeah. So nonetheless, Snafu season 2 is coming out soon, and
three.
Sorry, and I am trying to get caught up. So I will because the dub, in my opinion, I'm normally a dub guy, but I just didn't enjoy it. But I did watch a couple episodes or a couple scenes in the sub version that were much better. So I'm gonna go ahead and watch the sub version with that, and I'm gonna get rolling and probably crank that out in the next couple weeks. So, when does season 3 come out this fall?
Season 3 comes out this summer as well.
Summer. So here
it comes out on like the 7th of July. So there's still 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, I got some time.
Yeah,
I'll be able to finish it by then.
But with that being said, though, we actually need to move on to our next thing.
Little gaming section, just a couple quick topics on it. The first one that I wanted to talk about is My Hero Academia. One's Justice 2. If you guys play that game, I love that game. It's basically just like a fighting game with My Hero Academia characters. The first one was pretty good, but like it was just a little cheesy and basic. But they came out with this second one, and I freaking love it.
Up the game.
Yeah, the game. And they just added a couple new quick things with the last download. Hawks. I don't know if y'all are caught up, but I'll just say Hawks is in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, Hawks is in the freaking game. And one thing that I really appreciate is that they added the English dubbed audio to the story mode. So like previously you're going through the story mode and you're listening to him talking in Japanese, and like it is what it is, but it's like you're playing a game. Come on,
it could be.
So I don't want to do all that. So yeah, I'm glad that they added the English dub to the game. So those are the two things I wanted to add on that. And then Pokemon Snap.
Pokemon Snap is coming back, a game that I think probably a lot of us have played. I think it's safe to say a lot of us have played Pokemon Snap. And if you don't know what it is and you're at least 20 years old to 25, then what happened?
Yeah,
How
did you live under a rock?
I mean, someone did not let you play video games apparently because it was prominent. I mean, Pokemon in general was prominent, right?
Even the girls played Pokemon Snap. Everyone played Pokemon Snap.
Now we're just coming to the Switch, which I do possess, and the Switch actually to me is something that I actually really like. I haven't played it in a second, but like once I get another game on it, part of the reason I'm not playing it is because I know if I do, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna be playing a lot of Pokemon, like the Switch.
That's all you're gonna do. If you start playing, you're not gonna be able to stop.
Listen, this past November, I was talking to a girl, and literally all I did, if I wasn't talking to her, if I wasn't hanging out with her, I was playing my Switch, and I was playing Smash Bros, and I was not doing anything else.
No one heard from you for days at a time.
Super Smash Bros. By Kyle. Check that song out. That's exactly what was going down.
Shoot. I wish we could get the licensing to just lead out on that song. Just play that song right now.
You probably have to share revenue. Yeah, we could probably make it happen.
That'd be dope.
So, but no, really, I mean, that was basically all we really had to talk about for this cast. Actually, I think there's great passion that was brought out of me this cast that I have not had to really, get drawn out of me in a while. ReZero really and Tower of God. How I want to say this last thing. How that last ending scene. Just one because I left this out. I'm mad that I left this out, and I really want to talk about this. One, Coon's brother. I didn't mention it in the review. I just don't know much to say yet. I mean, he's back. For what reason? I just don't know. So I don't want to talk in circles about that. It's huge, but like, what do I say? I haven't read the manual.
Not to mention, what I'm gathering is that the Coon family is kind of a big deal. So there's
which they reference.
It may not even be his brother, but it is somebody that's a Coon for sure.
Well, he does mention. He does say brother.
Does it?
He
does
say brother.
I'm sorry, I did not hear that.
And he's older, but most of the Coon family is outcast. But partially because the Coon helped Maria. Mm-hmm. So why is that guy even mentioning Maria? He should hate Maria. He should hate Maria
Coon's
too.
Coon's branch of the Coon family has been essentially exiled. Yes.
But but that scene with Tower of God, I do want to say that transition to using the ED as an insert song, not the first thing I've seen, but the fact that they used it not only as just an insert song per se, it was used for the B-roll. It went from that scene being hit perfectly, going to B-roll, which not saying I've never seen that before. We've seen that with Attack on Titan, the ending of season 3, part 1, I believe, whenever they're showing all the characters looking off in the distance, and all of a sudden we see Eren, Mikasa, and Armin, the main gang, are the last, best for last. Yeah. They show them looking off in the distance, and then they go with from their faces looking off in the distance from this angle, and then all of a sudden camera angle just goes when it starts looking forward, it starts going forward like their perspective, and all of a sudden you see Zeke sitting on the wall saying. Like it starts.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I've seen it. It's good. It gets me every time. But I will say at the same time, though, the fact that they faded it into an ED, not just they literally had Bam falling consistently, and they kept flashing back to a character, to Bam, to Rachel, to Bam. But then they even changed, if you actually pay attention, they changed the art slightly to fit what an ED would look like, even. But yet they kept the same exact scene, but they did like an opacity kind of with the art. It was really cool. I know I may not be describing it the best, but it literally transitioned with a different art style. If you watch towards the end of him falling, where it's just straight 30 seconds of him falling, it doesn't look the same initially as him falling. So they did a lot of stuff there.
Visually,
they did a lot of stuff there.
Audibly, artistically,
aesthetics,
everything about that scene was done perfectly. I still hate the bitch.
Hey. Listen, you said there's hope. You thought there's hope. Still.
Hey, I'm gonna hold on hope. I think
he's bargaining, guys.
Listen,
he's bargaining, guys.
What if she's gonna be what if she's just being manipulated, man? What if somehow she's being controlled?
I don't think you can forgive her, man. You know who this reminds me of? Mine from Shield Hero. The one that faked to be in the Shield Hero's party.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You know how much they. Once you get that comparison, there's no going back. I learned that, and I saw the comparison, and I don't know.
But you don't know you don't know who she is or where she comes from or what kind of power the administrator has over her. You don't know. You just don't know.
What if?
Man.
What if?
I hope we find out.
Listen, Bam's not gonna fall for it again, so neither should you.
All right, I'm not. No promises, man. No promises.
Okay. Well, with that being said, I think we'll end here. He hurt his chest. You hurt your chest?
Yeah.
It's his heart that Rachel broke.
It hurts, man.
So with that being said, though, we'll see you guys. I hope you guys did enjoy this episode. Hopefully it's better than the last. Hopefully you guys see some more innovation to the cast as we go along, which you should. So with that said,
peace out, guys. Thanks for stopping by.
Yep. See ya. Take it easy.
Have a good week.